Hi, I'm going to give you a quick introduction to Liquidguides, which is a free application available on iPhone, Android, Windows Phone 7, and also on the web. It is entirely free. The only caveats are in the free version, you get this ad that appears on several of the pages, other screens. Also, on the phone itself, you're limited to saving one guide. Now, if you want to get rid of those limitations, you can subscribe. It's not mandatory, and you get basically an application without the ads. You can save as many guides on the phone as you have memory. You get additional capabilities on the web version, such as saving to HTML, saving as PDF, printing, and probably best of all, you can copy any of the guides that are shared, make them your own, and then it saves you time from creating a guide from scratch. So on the iPhone itself, what you would typically do is you would search for guides that are on the web, and guides are categorized by type, language, country, and city. We'll add more categories or more search criteria later. So then you would do a search, and this came up with one guide. We're going to click on it and then download the guide. So now the guide is downloaded, and we look at the map. We see the places associated with this guide. Now from this screen, there's quite a few capabilities. You can click on a place and you get a place menu. From here, you can look at the HTML information available. Remember, this is created by a user when they created the guide. You can also look at the details, such as the name, address, and so forth. There's also categories that you can edit. Also the groups, you can have more than one group. And a group, you can think of it as a super category. And also open times. Again, if the user, when he creates the guide, puts open times, tells you when that place is open or closed. Street view, and in this case, it's actually inside the building. But typically you'll see the view from the street. And you can zoom in and zoom out, and you can, a lot of these screens have left and right arrows which allow you to go to the next place or previous place, which is a handy way to scroll through the items that are in the guide. So we saw street view. Now bird's eye view has and I forgot to mention, you can scroll and you can also zoom. This one has 2 zoom levels, in and out. And alright, so directions uses Google Maps, and before we can do that, we need a current place. Here it says the selected places, no place selected. We can make this one the current place, and now you see the Palace of Versailles. We can go to another place, and now we can ask directions between the 2 places. And here we have directions. We can look at the place, on the map and so forth. And let's see, we're going to just go back. Now we can also, by clicking here, you can center this place on the map. Also, you can find nearby places like restaurants, museums, things like that. You can delete this place from the guide. Now notice the ad is grayed out. It's not enabled because this is meant for places that are not currently part of the guide. You can add them to the guide. Once they're part of the guide, you can delete them. And let's go back. Alright, so from here, this zoom button allows you to go to a specific zoom level with one click. These buttons allow you to go from place to place. It centers basically the next place in the list. And if you zoom in, of course, you get a little bit better effect. So now you can see the different places show up more clearly. Now if you look at the more, there's quite a few things here. There's the nearby places, which gives you nearby attractions, panorama pictures, YouTube videos, and Wikipedia entries. So this is where you can start. This is one way to create your own guide, is you find, for example, places. And of course, what you saw here, let me explain it. The application always tries to zoom to such a degree that all the places are displayed. You can disable that from the settings. In fact, let's do that now. And here's the settings. While I'm here, I'll describe. This is the date format. This is miles, kilometers. Continuous GPS is when, if you want the map to be updated to show you where you are, it continuously updates it. This is what we wanted to turn off: auto center, auto zoom, and this is a satellite view. So now that we've turned that off, we can zoom in, and what this will do is then not try to zoom out if we want to see more closely what's going on. So again, the places now, so notice you can add it, and if I click add, it turns it red, which tells us that it's part of the guide. These are just informational places, and you can delete them from the menu that we saw earlier. Going back here, places list is basically a list of places. They can be sorted, filtered. You can delete all of them, but the idea for this is when you click on one, it centers the map to that location, that place. And it shows all the places, not only the ones currently in the guide, but also the ones that we are, these here that are the nearby places that where we may add to the guide. Keep on going here. Filter places is a convenient way. You can filter by categories, groups, places, date, or by none. This allows you to see only those places that fit these specific criteria. And the center selected place. So we've selected a place. I guess it was Versailles, and now it centers the map to that place. Okay, center to GPS location. I won't click on this. This is obviously when you're at the place that you're visiting. You click on this, it shows you where you are. Street view is the same as the street view from before. Bird's eye view is the same, but the difference between these two is it uses the location that's at the center of the map to show you both of those. This is how to add a new place. So you can. This is if you're creating your own guide, you can add a place, and we saw settings already. Let me go back to filter so I can actually show you based on groups. I can turn them all off. Now I want to show you only what's in Montmartre. And of course the reason that happened is because we are not auto centering and auto zooming, so we will turn those back on. Alright, and now you see that it's only showing the places for which the filter is set. Now let me do that and get rid of the filter, and now everything's back. Alright, one more thing I wanted to show you here is the search capability. You can search for things like restaurants, pizza, so forth, but let me just try an address or something like this. Okay, and this is another way that now you can add places to your guide that you create. Okay, this shows you, I think we're finished with this. Let's go back. So this is again guides that are online on the web, and you can download them. Once they're downloaded, you can then come here and save that guide. Remember, if you're not subscribed, you can only save one. If you are subscribed, you can save as many as your phone will allow you to. You can then sort them by different things. You can delete all of them. Also, when you click on one, you can delete that one. You can update that one. Update means whatever you're currently working with, the guide that's currently on the phone is what is that information is going to be used to update this one here. And opening is like downloading. Instead of downloading from the web, you're opening the guide that's already, it was already previously downloaded or created on the phone. Okay, we saw map. Now document shows you an HTML document that was created by the user with images, text, hyperlinks, maps, and there's one document per guide, but there's many HTML snippets that can be inserted at various places. This can be edited if you're creating the guide on the phone or slightly modifying. Now you notice this is HTML. You can add just plain text. Of course you won't get, if you do that, you won't get the fancy HTML, but if you're on a trip and you just want to write down information, then plain text is fine. Places, we saw something similar to this before from the map. This is it's the same. The only difference is that in addition to sorting and filtering, when you click on a place, let's say we click on then it gives you the place menu for that place, and of course you have the typical info details and so forth that we saw earlier. Also have a schedule. A schedule is split up by days and then events. The events, while we're here, let's show you that you can add a new event, you can delete all the events, you can change the start date. This is important if you have a guide and the date of your trip changes, so you change one date and it'll update all of the other events. And now for each event you can also change the subject, the start and end date and time, notes, and places. Now for places is important because that's how it knows how to filter by date. So it looks to see which places are being visited on which dates, and that's how it does that. Now you could have a place that's visited more than once and it handles that as well. You can also delete the event from here. Let's go back. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, then alright, guide details is basically details about the guide, such as the name, ID. Some of it currently only the name is something you can change. You'll be able to change others as well in the future. This is also the countries and cities that are visited in this guide. The video tutorial is basically what you're watching now. Okay, the more screen, you have register. You don't have to register and you don't have to log in, but if you want to see your own guides on the web, then it needs to know who you are. So first you have to register. Once you're registered, you can log in. Settings we already saw. Log out is if you want to log out, the app will allow you to stay logged in for quite a long time, and you can log out this way. If you forget your password, you go to this screen and basically you put in either your login name or your email address, and it'll reset your password. It'll send you a new password, but only to the email address that's on file. It won't send it to this email address. This is only for searching. So it's important to have a valid email address. And then once you get a temporary password, it may not be something meaningful to you. You can then come here and change it, and as it says here, you must be logged in to change the password. So the password that's sent to you, you use that to log in, then you can change it. About is just some information about the guide. Help is HTML text. Now clear cache, or cache and clear the app. Basically, and we'll try that right now. So just so that you see on the map here, we have these places. Now let's say we want to start over. Then what we would do is we would come here and say clear app. Now when we go back, we see we have nothing on the map, and in fact we have no document, and we have no places or schedule. So now you basically can start inputting your own information and start creating a guide on the phone directly. And I think that covers everything. Thank you very much.